Evening all, welcome back to the channel. So Odyssey has dropped. We're going to look at it. It's basically an interesting one. Do you like new skin? Look, it's my logo. It's my brand. You can't really see it. It probably costs a lot of plex to do that. Warping with 5 orcas because that's what a trillionaire does, isn't it? What would you expect? Want me to be in a coveter? Really? Trillionaire? I think not. Yeah, we've got our little Orca gang. I don't mind, I should just point that out. I have not a clue what I am doing. I have not mined for, well, a very long time. So put an ore scanner on this. I think it basically, you need it, otherwise it doesn't work. But we've got an ore scanner on this to, I think, just try out the new stuff. Let's just see. I think mining has always been part of the game, and it's a bit of a boring part of the game. So let's see if it's any. Oh, look at that, it whizzed away. Interesting. Obviously I'm in high sec and I'm in terrible belts, but I just thought it'd be funny to come and just bring a orca fleet in and have a look. I think if I click Bhutan, there we go. No, nothing happened. There we go. Oh, look at that shiny wibbly wobbly stuff. So I think basically the way it works is if I hover, no, try that again. If I hover, it will basically show ore value low to high. So we're looking for stuff that's high value. To be honest, I don't really care because whatever we use, we're just going to bung into the T2 production. So yeah, let's just go over here. I do like that they've added these extra little bits. I think that's quite a nice little thing. Let's just regroup because that would be amusing to me. Look at that. That's just gratuitous, isn't it? It's just unnecessary and gratuitous. Makes me laugh though. I hope you like the skin. Look at that. It's got my brand. Quite thought that was quite funny. I do think that they really need to sort it. It doesn't really look like my brand, is it? It's supposed to be a hexagon there. Oh well, that was real money well spent. I think not. Just wow. And I don't really know, do I need to tank? I mean, if I do, things have gone horrifically wrong. I just think that looks rather pretty. Look at that, that's nice. It's good. This game is good. It is pretty, isn't it? Anyway, so we're going to look at some of the Odyssey stuff once we set up our mining bros. I think I have some mods. Not mods, what you call them, things. So mining equipment, I don't know which ones will work. Mining, blah, 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 blah. With this one, lifespan of crystals, don't really need that. Laser field, probably not. No, not really. Laser range, I don't think they really like you doing the orca mining thing. Mining bursts, no, not really. I don't really know if any of these do much, so never mind, we shall just not bother. I think I even have tank modules on, but I'm not sure I'm going to use them, but that is quite amusing watching that. And let's just start the process. So I think, let me just get set up. Oh my gosh, it's literally like slow boating. It's not good, is it? Let's just lock stuff. I don't know. I'm sure I'm supposed to be doing this properly, and some of you purist miners are like, what on earth is he doing? I don't know. I don't mine. I used to think you just shot guns at rocks for an awful long time. I did mine for a bit, actually. I lie, but this is back in the day when I think things are a bit easier. And we're not even going to use proper drones. We just use whatever. Let's just let them go and mine. There we go. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I don't really think. Maybe do scordite. I don't know. Is that good? Is scordite good? It sounds good. Do you know what? It just shows that I have not really played the game that much in terms of mining. I think it was one of those things I was never that bothered about. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Kind of like that. Are we mining? Nope. Let's just keep mining. So here we go. And engage. And do we... Oh, do you know what? I don't think this dude has any miners. How stupid. Can I hand you some? Let's see. Can I... There you go. I'm learning. So I can give 5 mining drones into fleet hangar. Yes, I can. Good. So let's see. Can I make that available? Which one's squaffle? This is real peak content. I think we can all agree. Use fitting service. Nope. Open ship maintenance array. Nope. Open fleet hangar. Yes, there we go. Okay. So fleet hangar. Boosh, and then can you take from that? This is like peak. I hope you're just like in a GOG. drone bay. Oh my days, I did not think that would work. Genuinely amazed. Oh, hang on, do I need more? Oh no, 5 is all I can use, isn't it? Right. There we go. And then let's get you just mine anything. I don't really care. Mine. Okay, so let's just get these to stop. I think that's rather fun, actually. I think that's a really kind of interesting use of, of the mining thingamy. And I noticed that there's something also, which is this, the mining ledger. I've never seen this. I can't believe I must have missed this. But I quite like it. I mean, it's a shame. There must be a corporation one, I would assume. Let's have a look. Corporation, mining, maybe not. Okay, well, oh, there we go. Freelance jobs. I did wonder where I made those. I'll have to play with that. So as you can see, mining's changed. They've made it a little bit more user-friendly. So obviously, let me just see if I stop. And I think if I engage siege mode, as I would always call it, siege, and we have the compressor on that dude. Let's see, does that mean we get more stuff? Let's do some experimentations. I don't know if it's going to tell me where I get stuff. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm intrigued to see what happens here. So mining hold, there we go. And then they're returning. Where are they? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. So we got an additional, so you've now got critical strikes, which just sounds weird, but I quite like that. And I think I can even compress this, can't I? Yeah, there you go. Boosh. Nice. So basically all of the Orca, I could just sit here all day and basically not do anything. This is pretty typical of my life, actually. I always loved the concept of mining, but I never actually wanted to sit in a belt and basically do it. I think it was always one of those things that just made me think, nope. I can see why people enjoy it, because look at the relaxing nature of what you see here. But for me, I think it's a tiny bit too annoying. So a little icon here, mining hold. So that tells me how full we are. That is rather nice. Quite like that. I think it's because we don't have a mining thingamy. Oh no, there we go. That's interesting. I didn't think it would work. Is it because we're in a fleet? Who knows? Let's lock that one. Why not? So in terms of mining, the cycle times are quicker, so that seems quite nice. I think the reality of it is that we should really be using mining barges. This is a gratuitous display of nonsense, but I think if anything describes my content, that is fitting. Let's see if we can get a nice little thumbnail. Let's see, that's pretty. I tell you what, this game, it does impress me sometimes. Like, I think the fact that they've made the asteroid belts not really rubbish now, I think is a really nice thing. So I quite like that. Obviously things have changed, so I'm going to engage my tank while I talk and go to other things. So let me just switch on my tanks. I don't really need it, I know, but why not? Oh no, don't switch on the micro warp drive. Well, no, they're all over the place. Right, never mind. Stop. Okay, so let's have a quick look at one of the other things that I quite like. Is this I think is lovely. I do quite like this. It just kind of gives you an idea of kind of where you live. You know, like the game is funny really, because you never really get the appreciation of, you know, the whole universe spread out. Oh, I will admit, this makes the whole game feel really small, really small. When I first looked at it after the patch dropped, I remember thinking, oh, okay, like, you know, some of these regions, I swear they were bigger. And like, you know, Delve, look at Delve. When I lived there, it felt huge. Now it feels like, well, 25 systems. And to me, that made me kind of go, oh, okay. It made me feel a bit sad. I like Povcha, no, that's brilliant what they've done there. But I think there was definitely something that just made me kind of go, oh, okay, this game is not... It does feel packed. This game does feel like a London, you know, subway tube carriage, because I think at times I do genuinely worry that it does feel a bit packed. So like everywhere I go, I mean, even in this system here, there's 40 people in local. Okay, we're close to Jita, but crikey, that's busy, right? Oh, what's that? I've never noticed a little buzz thing. Is that how much is left? Oh, I like that. I only see it on the one with the mining thing. Oh no, am I wrong? Where am I looking? Where's this particular rock? Is it because we're mining it? Yes, it is. Look at that. I like that. Oh my gosh, they've really done some good stuff. I could even mine. Do you know what? I'm actually quite tempted to try and mine now. I don't really know if I want to. I don't need the money to do it. So it's one of those things you do because you get some enjoyment from it. Oh, hello. We've got some... should I kill them? I guess I should. Return to drone bay. Why not? Let's just kill them. No, it's not going to let me, is it? Really? Oh, my days. It's funny, really. When you don't do certain things, it's amazing how sort of, I don't know, you get a little bit kind of complacent with stuff. Oh my gosh, how long is that going to take to lock? Are we losing drones? I don't think so. Do they shoot drones? I have no idea. Oh, hang on, are they idle? Right, hang on. Engage. Let's see. So let's just set these off once. Oh, there we go. Engage. Kill, kill, kill. Shoot, shoot, shoot. So I think that is kind of my frustration slightly with the game, is it does feel a bit packed. Maybe that's just me. Maybe as you get older, I think you get a little bit more kind of like get out my space, get out my space. But I think definitely when I compare it to Frontier, which just feels vast, there is definitely something quite nice about Frontier that just, I don't know, you just feel like you could just disappear into nowhere. Like it's that sort of venturing into the unknown. I think there's definitely something in that. I remember in Elite Dangerous, you can, oh, hello. Oh, okay, let's just keep mining, I guess. What I think what a lot of people do is they put one drone on one rock as well, don't they? I think that would be quite a clever thing to do, but this is for experimentative purposes. We're not going nuts with it. Let's get these back. Return to drone bay. Let's get some miners out again and just go and mine that. So I think generally the feeling is that, Elite Dangerous had this wonderful feeling of like, oh wow, I'm so far away from civilization, this is scary. Here you never really feel you're that far from anything, to be honest with you. So I think it's a bit of a shame. I would love to I think this is a worthy addition, but I think there's something about it that just makes me just feel a bit small. Like generally, look at that feels small. The game feels tiny now. And I think I'm noticing it more and more, particularly when you start to look at other games and what they offer. And I think Frontier to me is probably the big one, because that just, again, is an Eve game. So it feels like Eve in every way, but it's getting this weird kind of, I don't know. So there's a real feeling of just vast space. And because fuel is a thing there, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to jump from one end of the galaxy to the other. I mean, it's fuel is a thing here as well, but I think it's the reality is the fact that fuel is so difficult to get in the other game makes it much more scary and compelling. Anyway, so that's kind of a nice feature, but it's one that's come with unintended consequences, much like Half-Life 2, that just makes me think, oh man, this just feels small now. Like, as I look at this, it doesn't make me feel that this is a huge empirate of systems. Oh, look, Amar. Amar definitely feels the bigger one. If I go to statistics and average players in space, there we go. Amar is definitely quieter. That is my learning point for you, that Amar is definitely the quiet one. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. I like it. It's fascinating to me. I'm kind of curious about that looks pretty kind of interesting, doesn't it? Don't even know what they are, but they just look compelling and fun. So I kind of want to go and explore those. So yeah, so it's interesting. Like I'm genuinely quite intrigued at this whole this patch. This patch has made game feel a bit more open, a bit more fun. Quite like that. I think there's definitely something that needed to happen in this game, in that certain things just felt like chores. So when you literally combine and it's literally a cycle time of like 7 to 10 minutes, what the heck is that? That's quite boring. I think there needs to be a much more kind of quicker moving game that I just think, this is now feeling more like it. Like I would say I'm actually enjoying mining here, because every time I look at something, something's happening, and I quite like that. I think they definitely should use barges. Don't use 5 orcas like a knob. I think this is just gratuitous and silly. This is like the millionaire child that gets out of a Bugatti Veyron, walks into the Michelin star restaurant, sits down and orders a cheeseburger. It's kind of wasted on everybody, this is. But I do quite like it. I'm quite impressed with it. I think it's quite an enjoyable thing. I'm probably missing lots of cycles here as well. Again, don't You don't come to this channel to see peak mining content. That I can assure you, good sir. But what I do like is that they are adding stuff to the game. I think that's lovely. I think the carrier stuff as well, I've read a few bits on Reddit. I think they're now starting to look more kind of like Black Ops support vessels now. So that might be quite interesting. You know, they've got such a big cargo bay that actually you could do more, or ship maintenance array, you could do more with them. So I thought that was quite interesting. I do genuinely think that actually there's quite a bit. Oh, hang on, let's just do a regroup. I do think there's quite an interesting kind of change or pivot with the carriers, because they always were good ships. It's just weird how, I don't know, like people sort of get used to ships being one thing, like dreads. Like dreads were, when they first came out, they were really quite unusual ships. They were just there to destroy POS structures. They didn't have any other function. Whereas now, you know, I am informed there is something called crabbing, which I think is obviously quite powerful. And I think there's just quite a lot of good stuff that you can do with these things that they push beyond. But it kind of comes back to what I would say is worth doing, which is bringing capitals into Empire. Just make it that they have no offensive capability whatsoever. Because I think that's the issue, is that if you had like a 1,000,000 hit point ship in Empire, which, well, you could probably do that with other stuff, but you have an issue then that Concord can't kill it quick enough so people could exploit the game. So I think that's kind of the issue. That's what I understand to be the problem with a lot of these things. But I don't know, we'll see. But so there we go. So I think Odyssey looks quite good. I think I'm definitely, when I'm going to get my hands on one of the expedition cruisers things, whatever, battle cruisers, the Odyssey, definitely going to have a little play with that, because that just looks, well, amazing. It'll probably take a while, but again, the application of money seems to solve many things. If in life you're not entirely sure how to solve a problem, maybe you have a local planning application, or you're having a dispute with your neighbor or something like that. If you apply money, it's amazing how that works. Like genuinely, in almost every situation in my life, when something's gone wrong, I'm not happy with this, I want to make a complaint, I'm really unhappy, we're gonna go to the courts to solve this. You just turn around and just literally cough and say, right, how much? And then you do the little universal symbol of finger and thumb being rubbed together to say, give me a price. Not a bribe, that's illegal, not allowed to do that. But there's nothing wrong with basically saying, right, can I make a donation? Can I help you? Is there something here? And it's amazing how often that solves problems. Again, probably what I've just done there is commit a crime. There we go. I don't care. You can come for me all you like. So I think generally, yeah, the Odyssey patch is well worth playing. It's quite fun. I would say I'm almost kind of engaged to maybe learn how to mine properly in my fleet of Orcas. This might be quite amusing. But I think at the moment, it's fun. It's engaging. I hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.